The Witcher is a new show on Netflix, and I have been really interested in this show. I'm not at all knowledgeable about the Witcher universe. It's based on novels and a video game. That's as much as I know about the Witcher. Now, is this show worth watching, or is it some of the crap that Netflix has been putting out, just dumping it out there? Let's find out in this full review of The Witcher. By the way, if you're new here or in case you've just forgotten, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Let's get to it. The Witcher. Before I begin this review, I must say I'm not going to be giving away spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review. But yes, there can be hints and bits and pieces of spoilers dropped. That's a disclaimer. And if you haven't watched the show, I suggest you don't watch this review. Or if you don't mind it, go ahead. Well, The Witcher. To begin with, I have to say I'm not at all familiar with The Witcher. And I was just interested in this show because of two reasons. One, Henry Cavill is in this show. And two, there's so much talk about this show on every internet forums, all the gaming circles, and the people who are actually interested in something that new comes up on Netflix. So I became interested in this show and decided to check it out. Now, is this show any good? Well, I have to say there are good parts and there are bad parts, but there are some amazing parts about The Witcher on Netflix. Now, The Witcher stars Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, Anya Chalotra as Yennefer, and Freya Allan as Ciri. Now, The Witcher is a very big universe. I mean, it's as deep of a universe as, Star Wars, or let's get back to this era in the fantasy realm. It's as good a universe as, I don't know if you've heard of Inheritance Cycle or Lord of the Rings. So yes, it's a deep and a very interesting universe. It has clans, it has kingdoms, and this show is about the clans and the kingdom. And yes, magic is actually a part in this universe. It's not hidden like in Game of Thrones, but it's a part of this universe and people are familiar with it, even if not all are magic users. Talking about this show, Witchers are actually these mutant creatures. They are part human, part mutant. They have been developed, they are not born, and everyone hates them. But everyone needs them because they are the monster killers of this universe. They are monsters, they are dragons, they are wild creatures, and witchers are the one who help protect the normal people from these monsters. But for some weird odd reason, everyone hates witchers. Now, Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt of Rivia, is actually one of the witchers, and everyone hates him, and I don't know why. But getting more into it, Henry Cavill has done a really good job. I mean, I love his portrayal of Geralt. I'm not familiar with the video game or the novel, so I don't know the character of Geralt. But in his portrayal, I felt I really liked the character that he has given us. The creators and the portrayal by Henry Cavill. I really like it. Now, Anya Chalotra, who has actually played Yennefer, she's great. I mean, her portrayal of Yennefer is very, very interesting. I'll talk about why these characters are interesting in a later part of the video, but yes, she's very interesting. The worst part about this show is actually the storytelling of the character of Ciri. I mean, I didn't like her story particularly well, but everything else was really good. Now, talking about the direction and the storytelling, this has to be one of the best non-linear storytelling. And this is a non-linear storytelling in a way I have never seen before. Yes, it's non-linear, but it has done in a very weird and interesting way. And if you are a fan of non-linear storytelling, this is your cup of cake. Because I have to say, I haven't seen anything like it ever before. And that's why I was most interested in this show and I really loved this show. The way they tell the story is, you're not actually familiar with what's going on right now. You never actually know what's the present, what's the past, and how far past is it, if I'm making any sense. I'm trying to explain it as best I can. They give you parts of the past in some episode. In the next episode, they give you some other part of the past, which you get to see is actually the present, and what you saw as the present in the previous episode is actually the future. In the next episode, some more parts about the past and the future and the present. And all in all, you never actually know what you are watching, which time period it is in, until you get to see the next episode, in which all of the context of the previous episodes becomes clear. It's a very, very interesting take on non-linear storytelling, and I was really impressed by the storytelling of this show apart from everything else. Talking about everything else, the music in this show is really good. I mean, there's this side character who follows along Geralt. He's really great. He has some great comic timing. He's actually comic relief in parts and not in other parts. But yes, he's a very interesting character to follow along in this, sort of silent main character. He makes the story interesting at many times. But yes, his songs are really good because he is actually a bard. So he's collecting these stories about the Witcher and his experiences and his adventures. And he makes them into songs which are played throughout the show, apart from all the other music, which is really great, and it makes you feel energetic and keeps you hooked into the show. Now, acting, music, all of that aside, The Witcher is actually a very great adventure action series. So the action and adventure part of it is really good too. It has been done really well. And the first action sequences in which you get to see Henry Cavill with some other dudes I'm not going to talk about, he is really good. And you can actually see why he's so great as the Witcher and why people fear him. All throughout the other parts of the show, as the character progresses, as the story progresses, you get to see the action is really good in this show. It is all complemented by this great production design and the use of CGI. It's so good. I mean, it's on a cinematic level, a step above what you see in the TV shows. But it's not really that cinematic that you can see in something like The Mandalorian, a review of which is available right now. So you might as well check it out right here, the iCard. Yeah, the cinematography of the show is really good. I mean, there are dark times, there are good times, and the use of colors and camera angles is actually very interesting because it sets the mood of where you are right now and what all is taking place. When the things are grim, you get to see these shades of grays and blues. And when the things are cheery, you get to see more colors in every scene, the saturation of scenes. It's really good. It's really interesting. All in all, I was really impressed with the show. Apart from everything else, the storytelling. It's something you have never seen before. At least I haven't. So I was hooked as soon as I found out what they were doing with the storyline. And the storyline is really interesting. As it unfolds, you get to know more about the characters, more about the story, more about the world they have created. And it's really interesting. All in all, I would give it 2 thumbs up. It's a really great show to watch on Netflix right now. It's not the dump that Netflix puts out sometimes. One of the best shows I've actually watched this year. And it's a really great closing for this year. So have you seen Witcher or are you planning to watch it? Please, whatever you think, write it down in the comment section below and let me know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it for some odd weird reason, give it a thumbs down. And while you are here, please do your duty. Throw a coin to your Witcher, press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever a new video drops. Till that happens, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Bye bye.